For a few seconds he felt disoriented, not sure why he was hearing helicopters. Then, with a yell of realization, he hurriedly woke the others, telling them to quickly hide among the boulders. Then, wriggling on his stomach, Joe moved out into the area just above the falls, listening to the change in the motor's sound, straining to see what was happening. It appeared they had landed somewhere quite close, but there was no sign of them. No rising dust, nor sound of voices. He wondered how many helicopters had landed. But even more important, how many soldiers were out there scouring the area? Were they still looking for evidence of Professor Egglin's research? As far as Joe knew, the authorities still had no idea of the interdimensional qualities of the professor's powder. But then, maybe they were just checking the wreckage that was once Chaldee's palace. That would make sense. The authorities would still be searching for evidence, bodies, paraphernalia, anything that might help them learn more about Chaldee's race and their whereabouts. Joe knew the military had returned a few times since the attack, and now they were back again, many months later. He frowned as he mulled it over. Were they looking for Chaldee's hideout? Anka joined him, and they stared down through the dense bush. "What is it, Joe? Why would the soldiers come back?" Joe shrugged, wishing he had brought the binoculars.
"Whatever it is, we are in trouble," he muttered. "If we're caught, or even if they see us, the caves might be discovered."
"We better tell the others."
"Right,"
Joe whispered as he crawled back to the group, now sheltered under a large outcrop of rock.
"We might have to stay here for a while, folks. Preserve your water, because it could be some time before those guys down there decide to leave."
They all nodded silently. Joe was pleased by their self-restraint. This was one reason why he enjoyed living among these people. They were steady, committed, and loyal, and he knew they would persevere with the heat and the dust for as long as he asked. Then, just as Joe was sliding back to the edge of the waterfall, he heard gunfire. 2 quick shots that split the air.
"Joe,"
Anka called urgently,
"what was that?"
Before Joe could answer, there was a gliding flutter of wings as the chief crow and 3 of his flock noisily landed on the rocks near him. Although Joe had worked with these huge black birds once before, he was still in awe of his newly acquired psychic abilities. To be able to understand the language of these crows and to exchange information with them was priceless, especially right now.
"We have just witnessed the commander's demise,"
the chief crow squawked.
"The commander?"
Anka's eyes widened in horror.
"Who?"
Joe demanded, feeling agitated. "The commander was the head of our army. He caused the uprising," Anka explained. "Princess Chaldee had him imprisoned, but he escaped when the palace was destroyed." Joe nodded, turning back to the crows.
"And you saw this?"
"Just now, we saw the commander use his power,"
squawked the chief crow.
"He used much power,"
another bird agreed.
"He stunned 2 of the soldiers before they used those long weapons on him,"
squawked another.
"And he fell. They used dangerous and cruel weapons, Master Joe,"
the chief crow complained. Joe sat cross-legged in the dust, shocked not only by the sudden appearance of the crows, but by the story they were telling.
"I can't believe you saw this. Have you been watching us too?"
"We watch all movement. We saw the commander enter the valley 2 days ago."
All the birds bobbed their heads in agreement as their chief went on.
"We think he was trying to reach Chaldee."
"Do you mean telepathically?"
"Yes, Master Joe, but she must have denied him because he seemed not to know what to do or where to go,"
the chief crow said aggressively.
"Chaldee was right to cast him out."
The rest of the group had now gathered around Joe and the crows,